Okay, so we're going to be talking tonight about a product called the Asirvia Go. Some of you have seen a video or perhaps have already purchased and are just looking for more information to sort of round out your understanding of this. This will all make sense as we go through this presentation, why this is such a game changer for small businesses. Now, let's first explore the foundation of what it means to be into business. What is something every business has to do, whether they like it or not? Well, they have to promote. That is an obvious statement. Every business must promote in some way because it's the only way people are going to hear about you. So it's not a want, it is a need. This is an absolute must. So keep that in mind as we talk about this, whether you're here strictly for just your business promotion and as a way to enhance the promotion of your own business, or on the business side that we're going to be talking about later. As when you have a need, and the need fulfills a really strong need, something that people are spending thousands on every month, you're in a good position, especially if it's a cutting edge product, which is what we're exploring tonight. Now, people use radio ads, yellow pages, magazines, online marketing, Facebook ads, billboards, and any other way under the sun to promote their businesses. Typically, small businesses, I wouldn't say they totally wing it, but it's leaning towards that because they don't have the big budgets. They usually don't have a rock solid marketing or promotional plan. They kind of go with what they can afford in the moment. And they are at a disadvantage in their ability to test and really explore ways that could, especially leveraging technology. Now, what if there was a superior and less costly way to promote your business, brand, opportunity, product, or service to thousands of people directly to their smartphones? And this is the key statement, directly to their smartphones. We can all agree on this call that phones are intrinsic to our lives. They're ubiquitous for what it means just to go out each day. Virtually everyone who leaves the home would race back faster for their phone if they forgot it than their own wallet. The phone is kind of like grand central for people's lives now. We consume media through it. We consume entertainment, all forms of business content we're consuming through the phone now. Some people say, oh, we send it through a phone, text me. They don't even want to be on a computer. So we went from desktop computers down to laptops, down to tablets, down to phones with bigger phones. The point of that conversation is it's obvious that's where people's attention is. They're constantly holding the phone. It's within 3 feet of you probably right now. We live near it. So if your business is not targeting that, if your business is not leveraging one of the most ubiquitous products in our life, you're losing money. Is just a statistical fact. We need a way to access people on their smartphones where they live. Welcome to proximity marketing. Proximity marketing does just that, but even more. I'm going to share some unbelievable statistics with you. Now, proximity marketing brings the leads to you. Major retailers are having massive success with proximity marketing, like huge brands like Nordstrom, Macy's, McDonald's, Target, Urban Outfitters, Kenneth Cole, Neiman Marcus. So many companies are using this now, but I'm going to share something with you. They're using app-based proximity marketing devices, which means the individual who's in proximity to your store or your marketing message must download an app in order to engage with your brand and experience your offer. That's how they all work. This is not requiring an app. Now, let me ask you, if you had to download an app, you had to go through the process of ensuring it was open, and you'd have to remember that, I think we can agree that that's one extra step that a lot of people just will not do. And let's be honest, everything has to be easy. People want it easy now. They don't want to really don't want to think much. They just want it easy. This product takes advantage of that. There's no app required. It is non-invasive. It's just a brilliant idea. The timing is here, and these major brands are proving that it's profitable. So what do they know that small businesses don't? Well, for one, they have massive budgets. They can afford to take advantage of every advance in marketing. Small and medium-sized businesses have no practical, affordable way to benefit from proximity marketing until now. Everything is about to change for all business owners, especially, let's put SM in front of that all, for small business owners especially, and entrepreneurs. Welcome to the Asirvia Go. It fits in the palm of your hand, on your keychain, in your purse, in your pocket, in your desk drawer, in your glove compartment, anywhere. And we're going to talk about some pretty guerrilla marketing ways that you can exploit this incredible technology. But what does it do? Why are we talking about this, and what's the big deal of this tiny little device? Well, what it does is it'll broadcast a 40-character message to any Android device that is within 100 yards of this Go unit. So not 100 yards of you, because it may not be on your possession. It may be in your desk. You may have it with someone else. You may have planted it somewhere, literally. If it's within 100 yards of the Go unit and the Android device is Bluetooth enabled, people are directed to any website you choose. Promote anything, any offer, sale, business opportunity, event, brand, service, etc. We're going to come back to this and we'll clarify it even more as we go. But just imagine that. There's this beacon emitting a frequency, and that little signal is blasting out a 40-character message, driving people to want to click a link within that notification that drives them to any offer. And we're going to get into the multiple ways we can leverage this technology. Now, it uses Google Nearby technology, which is basically Google's owned platform that it communicates to its proprietary devices, which are Android-based phones, not Apple. And you're going to learn why that is not an issue, that Android dominates the world in terms of phone use. And I'm going to prove that. So Google Nearby sends out signals and it looks for nearby notifications that say, oh, there's a nearby deal at a restaurant, there's a nearby event, hence the term Google Nearby. And that is aggressively expanding globally, that whole platform. And what's actually happening is we're broadcasting via Bluetooth, piggybacking on Google Nearby. Specifically, this is what's happening. The beacon just sits there. It sends out a signal. What's actually happening is we're not sending a notification to anyone. Google Nearby is recognizing the beacon and via Bluetooth is pulling that message and displaying a notification on any Android phone within 100 yards of the unit. Genius. And you're going to understand why that's such a big deal in terms of anti-spam and being fully compliant in 192 countries and always will be. It's small, compact, battery operated with a battery that lasts up to 2 full years. So between 18 months and 2 years, depending on how aggressively you use it, you're constantly, maybe changing messages, may burn the battery a little more. Bottom line is it'll last at least 18 months to 2 years, and you'll learn how that gets replaced for free. Promote whatever you want, whenever you want, and equally as important, wherever you want. It literally does not have to be on your person. You could give it to someone else. You could just give me 1 second, please. I'm trying to minimize this. Yes. Okay, so now let's take a look at the Android market, and it is the dominant operating system in global phone use. It is over 80% market share worldwide. Now that's kind of logical because iPhone and Apple makes the iPhone, they make the operating system. It's a closed system. They're the only one who makes it, so no one can enter the space. Whereas with Android, every phone manufacturer that is not Apple uses Android. So obviously it's going to dominate in market share, but let's just look how big that domination is. Now, look, on the far left, you see lime green. It's just a sliver. That lime green is Android. Just above it is the dark blue. That's iPhone, so iOS. As you can see, iPhone remained relatively unchanged from 2009 right to last year. Virtually unchanged in terms of market share. Clearly, Android absolutely gobbled up the global market share and is continuing to expand. As of last year, 2016, it was 85% of global market share. iPhone was 13.8%. And then all the others, Windows, BlackBerry, Symbian, carried up the other 2 or 3%. Now, as of this year, it will rise to 90% global market share, Android. And you can go do some research yourself. iPhone's sales have fallen flat as of 2 years ago, and they're actually in decline. So as a global brand, they have such market penetration because people use multiple Apple products in their house. That's why they're so big. So the phone is not their flagship product. Their iPads, their desktop computers, their MacBook Pros, which I'm actually on now, they have massive penetration per household. But in terms of phone use, Android is the dominant. So as a business owner, you'd want to take advantage of this, even though iPhone is not available with this device. There are so many Android users. It makes sense as a business owner to leverage that and take advantage of it. So here's an example. Proof this works. It shows on your phone in the far left. Continue to website. They click on the little link and they see in this particular case is someone who's promoting the Asirvia Go. Pretty simple. There will be a notification that appears in the top left of every Android device within 100 yards of the Go unit. And as any Android user knows, you just swipe your finger from the top left to the bottom left of the phone to reveal your notifications. And there they are. They cascade down and you'll see a notification, whatever. You'll lose 10 pounds in 10 days. Click here. Whatever the promotion you're trying to run. It does not have to be a brick and mortar business, although 90% of the people that are interested in this tend to have one. Now change the message anytime you want, right? And you can test multiple offers at the same time. And this is the part of it that you really need to pay attention to. If you have a flyer, for example, or print media, you have no ability to split test that live. You're just reliant on whether the font worked, the headline worked, and maybe you have a coupon offer associated to the flyer that they can tear off and bring in so you can verify that flyer generated the sale. That's about the only way, really old school. Now, you couldn't split test that, meaning what would it be like if I compared another flyer, unless you had a lot of money and then the ROI just doesn't justify it. So print media doesn't lend itself to multiple split tests live in real time. This device is built for it. What do I mean by split testing? Well, I mean, if I had 8 of these devices, I wouldn't want just one because I don't have the ability to split test. There's no way I can truly leverage it. I can get the benefit of one offer. That's it. But I can't split test, meaning, for example, I have a restaurant and I have, say, one of these units has, let's say all 8 of the units have the exact same message. And what I want to test is the offer I'm sending that message to. So I change the offer. So I have 8 messages. One goes to a Facebook page where I warm up the customer, get them involved in the social media conversation of, say, my restaurant, and get them engaged in conversation. And I send one of the units to a YouTube channel where it's just me talking about food, maybe giving a recipe away, getting people, again, warming them up. One could go to a specific coupon offer. One could go to an offer that you're putting on 2-for-1 meals on a certain night. One could go to an event that a specific event that you're having at your restaurant on a specific night. That's 5 ideas out of the 8, just in a conversation here. There are multiple ways to use this. Now, the beauty is you're split testing the offer versus one message. What if I said, no, I'm going to change that. I'm going to go multiple messages, all different messages to the same offer. So I can find out which message converts the best to the exact same offer. Then I'll know after 5 or 6 messages, wow, this message was way better. I could also split test the location that I'm using this at. For example, it may not just be right where I'm located in my business. I might go for a coffee somewhere that's very populated, and it might pull. I might go, wow, every time I sit there, I get lots of leads and lots of people wanting to come to my restaurant, for example, in this example. It doesn't have to be a restaurant. I'm just using it. It could be any product, any brand, any service. But you can split test location, message, offer, multiple things all at once to find out what works. There's very few things that will allow you to do that. For a small business owner, it's just not cost effective. This, as you're going to see, is incredibly inexpensive, and it works 24/7, no matter where you are in the world, which is pretty exciting. I'm not going to read all this, but I will bring your attention to the middle of the page, and it's talking some statistics about people's desire to be exposed to proximity-based marketing methods. According to JWire, the facts are clear as it relates to the value of proximity marketing. 53% of consumers are willing to share their current location to receive more relevant advertising. If you're a business owner, that has to get your attention. A lot of people will think, oh, it's spam. I don't want to spam people. My immediate response is, statistics don't prove that that's true. The surveys and the reality is people want it. They're actually more engaged. The market's changed. It's not the way it used to be. I'm a little older. I might come from a place where I go, I don't want those messages, and I might misread the market. In other words, my assessment and my own bias is flawed compared to the reality. The reality is people are putting up their hands saying, if you have a cool offer and it's proximity based, I want to see it. Well, it makes sense too. It's logical. If I'm near a pizza place or I'm near a store to buy a shirt or I'm anywhere, that's when I want to see a deal, not when I'm sitting down watching a hockey game on TV, for example. I would look at the ad as a nuisance, not as an asset. It gets in the way of my experience, so I tune out the ad. And I'm less likely to take advantage on that ad while I'm watching a hockey game, obviously. But in proximity marketing, I'm highly likely to respond because I'm near the offer. That's why it works so effectively. So 57% of consumers are more likely to engage with location-based advertising, which I just talked about. 62% of consumers share local deals with friends. Think about that one. If you're a small business owner and you're not leveraging this kind of technology, you're saying that 6 out of 10 people who might be interested in my offer, who would be happily willing to share it with others, I just don't want that. I don't want them sharing my offer. That's incredible. That third one, to me, justifies this product because that's the viral component. Word of mouth And satisfied customers, especially when you link that into Facebook and your social conversation, you can leverage that to great effect with any product or brand that you're promoting. And 63% feel a coupon is the most valuable form of mobile marketing. Targeted offers based on proximity leads to higher conversion rates. That's statistically verifiable. So now let's look at the areas that we can use this. And I will go into detail in some of these because I really want to spark your imagination to realize there is not an industry that can't exploit this. It's all relevant to your and relative to your understanding of how this technology works. Some people go, no, I can't use it for mine. Yeah, you can. I don't care if you're a massage practitioner and you're full all the time. You could share your promotional leads with your friend who's a chiropractor who maybe is looking for some. So you could literally drive messages to his offer in exchange for a kickback or in exchange for them driving offers to your massage clinic when they have their chiropractic clients in his office or hers. That's one, off the top of my head example. But let's say salons, hair salons, nail salons, restaurants, of course, real estate agents. This is built for real estate agents. You could promote open houses. You could literally have one of these in the walk box of a house and someone drives by the for sale sign of the house that you never knew was visiting. Remember, you had no clue this person was going to the house. You would never know. And they see a for sale sign. And on the sign, you put, have an Android phone, check your notifications. So they do. And they see the notification, take a walk through the house. They click it, goes to a website. Maybe it's you, the real estate agent, welcoming them to the property. They thank for looking. Click here to take a walk through as a full 360-degree video tour of the house. They click it and they're fully engaged in the property, seeing the inside of the house while they're standing on the street. That's just smart. And for real estate agents, it's almost the most practical product. Why? Because you could make one sale a year and it justifies the cost of this product, literally, because it's so inexpensive. So network marketers, well, that to me is a given. Just give me a second. Someone's asking a question if I can respond right away. Yeah, now now there are multiple ways to use this. You have to be creative. In other words, let's say you have an industry that doesn't immediately spark your imagination. If I'm able to sit with it for 10 minutes, like in other words, just sit and chat with someone, I will assure you there are ways that you can leverage this. Now, right now during a presentation, I'm focused on doing a presentation. I may not be able to sit down and engage with one specific request, but if you're unsure of how to use this, you could talk to me. And I'd be happy to help stimulate your imagination and ways to leverage it, because there are ways that every business can use this. Insurance agent, well, network marketers, I have to spend some time there because the biggest problem with this industry and network marketing is attrition. Attrition is caused by people quitting. People quit because they go through their warm market and then they realize they actually have to turn it into a business because it is a business, not a game. That means you have to go make sales and promote a business and understand how to be in business. Most people don't, so people quit. The biggest issue is lack of leads. This product literally addresses the number one issue. Leads. Incredible. Any network marketer would be wise to utilize this in their organization. Insurance agents, chiropractors, clothing stores, of course, trade shows, that's a no-brainer. Every trade show, if you have a booth there, you could have people that are in your partners or employees carrying these beacons around the show, driving people to your booth. Brilliant. Or maybe the booths are too expensive and you're a small business person just getting going. You could pay the admission fee at the trade show and not even get a booth and show up with these units and drive people to your offer. Targeted people that are in your niche, obviously. Many businesses, they really leverage trade shows. They'll go to them in all different cities. And so that's a huge industry, obviously. So events, any event you go to, you can carry one of these. I don't care if it's a party, a concert, meeting in a park. It doesn't matter. Football game, sporting events, in the park, coffee shops, food trucks, tour operators, caterers, wedding planners, event planners, tradespeople, absolutely. Right? Tradespeople generally put a sticker on the side of their truck, maybe a Yellow Pages ad and a website. Generally do not have high level, marketing. Generally, I know some obviously do, but the smaller independent guy needs some tool, needs some way to leverage technology. Well, they might be in the house working on something, but this beacon's with them, and within 100 yards, there's people across the street or beside the house that happen to be looking for someone who's an electrician, for example. But you never knocked on their door to ask them. But they see this message, what's this? And they check it out, and it's you promoting while you're working without talking to people. You could do that as a roofer. You could do it as a plumber. You could do it as anything. It's irrelevant what the trade is, but you could have it wherever you go. Any small business owner, marketing companies, salespeople, of course, and more. For example, a museum. What if you had a museum? I mean, I like this example because it just shows the creative ways you can use it. Let's say I have a museum. There's 72 pieces of art. I can't attend to every person in the museum looking at the art, but I could have one of these beside every piece of art. And the notification would show up on an Android user's phone, and they could click on it, and they could get details on the history of that art, what inspired them. You know, it could take them to a specific website that really goes into that piece of art. Let's say you're trying to sell it, and you have local artists or even international artists, and you're doing a show with their artwork. Well, how cool is that to have these beacons driving them to more details on the art? Not everyone can sit and stare at art. They may not be as schooled and understand art as much to understand and get behind what that piece of art is about. Something like this would give them more. I mean, you could use this in tour operating. As I said, if someone's unsure how to use it, talk with the person who brought you to this webinar and arrange a call with me. We will find numerous ways, I assure you. So now let's just get into the costs and how you can use this for your business so inexpensively. After just a couple more slides. Now, just imagine being able to go to any populated area and have your message, business, or offer promoted to over 60% of those people without having to talk to a single person. Now, this is the game changer. Now, why do I use 60%? Well, because the majority of people are on Androids, but not all of them have Bluetooth enabled. And let's say statistically, not everyone's going to have it enabled, and some just don't see the message. You're still looking at about 50 to 60% of people with phones who are going to see your message. If I'm a business person, I'm going to focus on those 50%. I just want access to the 50%. I can't worry about the other percent that I'm not accessing. I want access to the ones that I'd never get to. I literally would never get to that market just by carrying around and going for lunch, living my life. And when you do finally talk to someone, they're almost ready to buy because they've already engaged. They've clicked a notification, clicked on a website, went to an offer that you have, probably opted in. Well, obviously you'd know because if they opted in. And they're pretty well putting up their hands saying, call me, talk to me. This is what I'm looking for. I need your services or brand, whatever you're promoting. So it's a warm lead. It's not a cold lead. So it's a very different situation. If you have a good funnel system, you can convert those leads into buyers. And we'll talk about what that means in a second. Now, let's do a little Q&A so we can get in behind this thing and just talk about compliance and some other areas that come up in people's minds as they watch this. Is this FTC compliant? Yes. Also CRTC, FCC, CSL, and all anti-spam law compliant. And we'll get into why. Is the notification a push notification? A push message like Facebook? No. The Asirvia Go is a broadcast, which is a key reason it is fully compliant. It collects no data from the end user. It uses no cellular data to view the notification. So think about that. We are not pushing the message onto a phone. Remember, I was telling you earlier that the beacon just broadcasts a message, a signal. Google Nearby notices it and pulls the data and displays it onto the phone and shows it onto the phone, onto all Android devices with Bluetooth enabled. Give me a second, I can go back. So that's why it will be forever anti-spam compliant. So does a customer enter a contract? No, they do not. It is month to month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. The customer or affiliate simply stops paying to stop using the service, just like a phone bill. You don't pay, service ends. Can I change the 40-character message? Yes, you can, anytime you want. It takes approximately 1 day to finalize and change and become live for broadcast. It usually is sooner, but they say a day. So they'll stand behind the 1 day. Now, why? Why is there this approval time? Well, it's for hate crimes, child pornography, sex-based stuff, tobacco, firearms, anything to do with that's untoward, that doesn't support a small business person and the brand. The Asirvia Go brand has to protect itself and the opportunity for other small businesses that are using it. That will always stay. Now, the approval time continues to increase because they recognize numerous websites and business owners that are using it, So they've seen the websites many times, so the approval process gets faster. Do you have a lead capture system or online funnel that can turn leads into customers and follow up for me? Yes, we do, but you can also have them built. But this particular lead capture system is a way that you can use the follow-up system. That's really what it is. Let's say you have a website. It's not designed that well. You drive people to your website, but it's not designed to capture leads. It's like a brochure. People see it and leave, or they drop the brochure kind of thing. Well, with a lead capture based system, they come, see some information. Maybe you inspire them to want to trade their email address for something you're going to give them, some value add. They opt in. Now you've got their lead, and you pre-program all this to automatically follow up with specific messages that are in line with what they've seen. Maybe another website link, maybe a link to a Facebook, maybe an offer. So you drip, as they call it, emails every day that are relevant to what they signed up for. That has been proven to be an absolutely killer way to convert. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that is a little later. But yes, you can use this for any business. So there's a question and answer at the bottom. You can use this for any business. Doesn't necessarily only mean Asirvia. So what if a phone user seeing the notification does not want to see them anymore? They simply disable the nearby notifications in their settings, or they swipe the message to the right and don't look at it. So they're in full control. And remember, this is non-invasive, which means it's not interrupting the user's experience. They don't hear a ding. It doesn't interrupt them if they have their headphones on and they're jogging. It doesn't interrupt their music or their phone call. That's why it's anti-spam compliant. It's similar to, and let's use this analogy. You know it works within 100 yards of the unit. It's like you driving down the freeway and you see a billboard. If you don't like the billboard, it's not going to matter for long because you're not going to see it once you drive by it. It's very similar to this. But if you love it, it's hard to remember it, for a lot of billboards, unless it's really screaming at you. Well, the similarity and the difference with this is, one, you're outside of the 100 yards, it's gone. You don't see the message. Again, why is anti-spam compliant? We collect no data. But if you like it, the notifications on your phone. And it's always this way for advertisers. So people say, oh, I don't want that on my phone, or I wouldn't want to put that on other people's phones. Well, according to the stats we talked about earlier, that's not accurate. People that are in the market for it want it. And if you're a business person, you're not concerned about pleasing the people that don't like you. You're concerned about making money from those who do. And those people are putting up their hands saying, I want this kind of advertising when I'm in approximation of a business. So this system is literally giving you that access. So if I share this product with others, is there a referral fee paid to me, or a way I can be compensated for sharing it? Because everyone I talk to says, man, I know a lot of business people who would love this. Well, the answer is yes. For those interested in this, I'll be talking about this at the end of the presentation. So right now, let's just take a look at the prices. You're going to see that we have a 50% off pricing right now for the next while. So it's not going to expire in the next few days because it's growing so rapidly. And last month, the company just did $500,000 in sales. And you're going to learn in a while, we just got out of the gate. So that's pretty impressive for a company that literally just launching. Well, you save 50% now, and that price is grandfathered, meaning when you buy now, that price will stay the same for life, even when the prices increase. So you can buy one for only $25 a month as opposed to $49, which is what it will be. 3 units for only $49, which will be like the price of one. You get 3, regular will be $99. 8 units will be $99 a month, regular $199. There is a one-time activation fee of $30 per account, regular $50. What is that activation fee? It will activate the entire account, not each unit. So in other words, it doesn't matter if you buy 1 unit, 3 units, or 8 units, the $30 covers the entire account setup. Now, how do you get going with it? Well, your initial sign-up is 2 months in advance plus the activation. So let's say I bought 8. It's $99 a month times 2. That's $198 plus the $30 is $228. Now the shipping. If I'm in USA and Canada, it'd be $10. It would be $238 for someone who chose to buy the 8. If you're international, it's only $30. So it's very fair, and it's FedEx, and you can track it to your door. Replacement fee is $25 within the first 12 months. So if something happens to your unit, meaning if there's little issues, there's support, of course, and they'll tweak and do whatever they need to do, to keep you, fully switched on. But if there is an issue and you have to replace it, it'll cost you $25 within the first 12 months. But if you stay a customer for 12 months or longer, they will be free for life, no matter how many units you have, whether you have 1, 3, or 8. If you have a problem with any of them, you just tell them and they send you new ones. So as long as you're a customer after a year, you'll never pay for new ones again. So as you can see, this is a brilliant product, very simple, a great way to leverage technology for a small business person, great ROI for what you put out. There's no small business owner that can't afford this, which is very useful. It's nice being in a business that's adding great value to a small business person, and money is never an objection. It's very, very rare. I mean, you think of print media itself. I mean, a two-sided few color business cards are like $50. You know, nowadays people want things interactive. They want to be engaged. And this product allows you to pull people into multiple messages, offers, Facebook, YouTube, anything you want to do to raise awareness of your brand and product or service. So what's next? Well, very simple. Get back with the person who invited you to this webinar and order the package that's right for you. Just find out, sit down, and explore ways that you can use this. You might see some already just from our conversation. If at any level you say, I'm not really sure how to use this, ask the person that invited you here to get a hold of me, and we'll have a conversation and explore ways. And I'm not saying it absolutely has to be for you, because everyone's got their own needs, and it just may not be. But I'm confident with a 5-minute conversation, we can explore numerous ways you could leverage this in any business. Not to mention, there are ways to leverage the joint venture side. You could leverage this in ways that you could do joint ventures with other people's businesses, because you may be near a lot of people and markets that are useful to other business people you know, and you could share leads or generate leads for them for a fee. There's a huge opportunity right there in many tourist areas. Any areas that have shows and promotions and, like, say, jet skiing and tours. Tours is another one where you could drive leads to them. They're dying for leads. That's all they look for. They're constantly looking for leads. You could say, I'll generate leads and I want 25% of anyone I send to your tour or anyone who buys your products. You could automate that. I mean, there's a whole world of things that people could do with this with a little bit of imagination, which I definitely have. And there are ways. So like I say, if you need to be inspired in ways you can leverage it, talk with the person who invited you here, and I'm happy to have a call with you. But for now, get back with whoever invited you and make sure you get set up with the package that's right for you. And I just want to tell you that this will end basically the introductory part. If you're strictly here 100% only for its application to your business, that we've covered that. What I'm going to talk about now is on the business side for us, those who choose to promote this and want to share it with others and aren't opposed to being compensated very well for doing it, then I'm going to talk about that now. So I'm just going to launch right into it. This is literally ground floor. Now, when I say that, I always have a little nervousness when I say ground floor opportunity, because generally it means difficult. It means, ground. Let's be honest. I'm 53. I'm not a kid. I've been around. It usually means you got some problems ahead of you. Ground floor means a lot of work. Now, on the plus side, it's obvious. If you have the right play and the right timing and the right market, and you can get ahead of that curve, life's pretty interesting. And this is rare. It literally launched in May, and there's 8,000 distributors, 3,000 customers, which is really, really interesting. That's actually excellent. You take 8,000, 3,000 is about 35% of 8,000. It's a good chunk of the people are actually customers, which is very useful in this type of business model. So it launched about 10 weeks ago. This is a baby, and did $500,000 in sales in its second full month with 11,000, slash distributors and customers in 10 weeks. That's pretty impressive. Open in 192 countries, and you don't need a license. Just think about that. You don't need a license. You don't need to provide anything. There's no major financing. You literally can open the door to a business that's global just by sharing a video, inviting people to a webinar like this, or doing your own presentations, which we have full presentations done in Spanish and English right now at this particular stage, which are, you could print them out or just do them on a computer like I am and do presentations in front of people, kneecap to kneecap, if that's your style. So we have all the training completely done that is absolutely at no cost to you. Now, why do I believe Asirvia Go is a home run? And I'm going to expand on this. To me, this is the stuff I looked at when I was assessing it. Just because it's a cool idea isn't enough for me. It has to be really viable. And timing has to be there. There has to be a whole pile of criteria before that ground floor fear that usually it generates in me turns into enthusiasm and inspiration. Well, market, obviously it is massive. Businesses need the product. It is not a want. They absolutely must promote. They have no choice. So the issue is, what are they spending the money on? You come and show this to a business owner at these prices, it is extremely attractive for virtually any small business owner. They're going to entertain your conversation. Even if they say no, your yeses are actually higher than nos. How many products do you go out and promote where you get more yeses than nos? I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is rare. And where you never get a financial objection. I haven't anyways. I'm only speaking for me. Others might have. I've never had anyone balk at the price ever. That's pretty cool. So you literally have no resistance on one of the biggest hurdles in a sale, which is money. You have a product that's intriguing. So it's inexpensive, and businesses are spending thousands a month promoting their business. The product is genius with a clear value proposition. It's obvious, and people go, yeah, that's smart. No barrier to entry, low cost to get rolling. People can just plug in and go. They don't have to think about it for weeks. They can go, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do it. Residual. Now, this is the business side of this. The entire model is based on recurring revenue, clearly the ultimate model for passive income. And if you're in a business that does not generate passive recurring revenue, that means you're always in sales. And if you're always in sales, I don't care how much money you make, your business is always on the edge. If, for example, if you took off for 6 months, you couldn't do it. Most people who make really good money in businesses, even in real estate, they don't want to leave because the market's hot, and they literally get trapped into the loop of making money and don't go anywhere. Great, I mean, it's good money, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not residual. If something happens, that money stops. We want some form of recurring income. Now, this is really cool. They pay daily. I don't know too many businesses that pay weekly. This pays every single day. Now, what inspires someone more than seeing money? When you're doing business and you see success, it builds belief, and that builds momentum because you take more action. I don't care if someone made $20. They made money. They didn't lose money. That is key. That sounds like such a trivial statement. But if you can get out of the gates in any business and there's no financial downside, like literally it's gone, you have zero risk. You've eliminated the downside. And these are the things that brought me into this business heavily. There's no downside, zero. Just a bit of time that I put out, which is actually decreasing, not increasing. So that's pretty rare. With the upside, virtually unlimited. There's a limit, and we're going to get into it, but it's a pretty high one. Now, it's viral also. People tend to talk about this and share it fast. They don't need to have their arm twisted to tell them to go share it. If they see it and they understand it, they share it. They don't need a big, long training session. You don't need 8 weeks of coaching. They're just like, yeah, hey, I know someone right now. What's the video? And they fire it off. It's that viral. That, my friends, is the key component. You have all these other things I just talked about. The market's there, and it's fine. People will share it, which is extremely rare. When you have that in a network marketing model, which this is, you have all the ingredients for something that will explode and continue to expand into 192 countries. We can't saturate it. The market's too large. I don't care how fast we go, how fast we grow, how many people hear about this. It won't even scratch the surface in years of how many businesses there are in the world that can use this. So here's the compensation plan all on one page. That's another reason I like it. We get paid 4 ways. This is very simple. Anyone who wants to watch a detailed version of this, ask the person who invited you here. I've made a full 11-minute recording detailing this, but I'm going to do this in 3 minutes or less. There are 4 ways you get paid. Number 1, commission. You get 25% commission on what you sell. So if you sold me a $99 plan, 8 units, you get $24.50. Pretty straightforward. But I started referring people, let's say, and you found me. And I told Joe, who told Wendy, who told Sue, and they all told a few people. If all these people made sales, you'd get 10% of what their commission is. Whatever their commission, my commission on of the people that are sold below me, you're going to get 10% of that. So there we go. There's the first way you get paid. The second way is the residual, which means when people renew each month for their initial payment, so the next month they're going to continue paying to use the service, you're going to get 10% ongoing. So if it was a $99 plan you sold, you'd get $9.80, whatever it is, per month every time they renew. And you get 5% of the second generation. So whoever they told, you're going to get 5% of that renewal. So there's the two ways you get paid, just commissions. The third way is what's called our daily base pay. That's based on you achieving monthly volumes. You'll see the terms in the top there: daily, then number 3 base pay, then monthly sales volume. Then you'll see colors: purple, green, blue, orange, and dark blue. Those will come in handy in another moment. Then you'll see numbers under the monthly sales column. In the example of the purple where it says associate, monthly sales volume of 1,000. What that means is you and all of the people you've referred and whoever they've referred. Literally, it doesn't matter who. If you told one person and they told one and they told one, down 100 people, it's irrelevant how it happens. All that volume of whatever sales you and your entire team generates goes towards that 1,000. And why does that matter? Because as you hit these ranks, you start getting a daily base pay. And all your commissions are daily as well. But you're going to start seeing this base pay start accumulating. It goes to $10 at the green level, then 30, then 100, then 300 to executive, which would be about 10 grand a month, to a high of $3,000 a day. That's the max they'll pay. As I mentioned, there is a ceiling, but as you can see, it's relatively high. So $3,000 a day, max in the middle part of the pay plan. Now on the right is the generational check match. Now this is the reason I find this plan extremely fair for your average person. What I mean is someone who doesn't really go for it, but they happen to refer someone who did. Now that's a useful distinction. Let's say you found someone that happens to be a superstar and they get into this thing and start rolling. You're going to get 25% of whatever their daily check is. So if that person goes off to start making $10,000 a month, you're getting $2,500 a month because you referred that person. That's rare, very rare in these programs. Usually you have huge qualifications to qualify to even get access to those commissions. This plan's saying, if you're lucky enough to have found someone who takes a run at this, you're going to get rewarded. And you're going to get 25% off all of your first generation people. So if you found 10 people and they start building, that's pretty exciting. Now remember, you're going to get 10% off your second generation. So whomever they tell. So let's say you found 7 people and they told 3 each. Well, you have 21 people in your second generation. That's 10% of whatever they earn per day. Obviously, there's going to be more people in your third and fourth generations and so on. Well, they're going to continue to pay this. As you hit those ranks that are color-coded, you unlock another generation of that check match to a maximum of 5 generations. And at the executive level, at that point, you would have hundreds, well, you'd have dozens of people in your 5th generation getting 5% of their check. So very simple plan, very lucrative plan. And they've thrown some other money on the table right now. And I'm just going to share with you how the ranking happens. This is the cornerstones before we sort of wrap up in a couple slides. The core building blocks of this business model are 3. It's based on you finding 3. So you find 3 customers, that's the stars up beside you, and 1 affiliate, and you qualify to become an independent rep. So I'm going to take you out of this slide. What it means is you find 1 affiliate. Someone says, yeah, I want to be an affiliate, and 3 customers. So more customers than affiliates. And then you'll get an email from Asirvia verifying that you choose to be an independent rep, and you approve. But right now, during this soft launch, because really we're in a soft launch, meaning it hasn't even officially been launched yet. It was just sort of shared with a few people and people are sharing it. No major launch buzz was created. It was a soft launch and it's exploding. The official launch is October 1st in Miami at the Lowe's Hotel on the beach. So up until that point, they are waiving the qualifications of the 1 affiliate and 3 customers in order to be an independent rep. So which means you get to become an independent rep immediately upon becoming an affiliate. That's good because you have no qualifications now. All those sales immediately go into ranking you towards the daily base pay. So there's a lot of things that are good right now for those who are getting in early because this is so early. They've got some incentives on the table. And here's another one. This is the $20,000 summer rank up bonus. For those who see this and say, you know, I could share this with a load of people and we could get a team going and they could share it and just, you know, follow a system we built, which I'll show you in a second before we wrap up. And as you move through these ranks, associate, you get a $100 bonus. Senior associate, you get $400, and a cruise for those who do it by next Monday. You get a free cruise to the Bahamas plus $400 bonus. so you can attend the event. And then the leader, you get $1,000 bonus. Senior leaders, $2,000. Then it keeps going up to a maximum of $20,000 bonus on top of whatever commissions you're earning. This is just a summer promotion until September 21st. So anyone who gets in now literally can qualify for several of these. If you want to, build, you got basically more than a month and a half, right? Month and 3 weeks to hit any of these bonuses. So it's lucrative right now. They're looking for people who see it, have vision, and want to help get ahead of this, because, with 11,000 customers and distributors and growing, just imagine that's in 10 weeks, what's going to happen by the end of this year. So those who get in now, like myself and many of us on this call who see it, are really aggressive and focused on making sure we get ahead of this. So when the numbers start going, there's people I have people in like 5 different countries. I mean, just imagine what's going to happen in 5-6 months. It's exciting times. So how do we get rolling? We have a very simple system. I have a group. We have a Facebook page. We call it the Go-Getters Group. Catchy, simple little name. It is the Asirvia Go. So we call it the Go-Getters. It's a very simple program we run with us. You get involved in the Facebook group right away once you've joined. Once you buy and become an affiliate, you are invited into the private Facebook group and our resource site, which is free, which gives you access to tools and videos and training at no cost to help build it. The company also provides an updates and resources section in the back office. So between my site and theirs, you have more than enough to build this business. Number 2, you'll download the Fast Start Guide from our resource site, mine, that we all use. And number 3, you make a list and send a video to at least 15 people, preferably business people. Then 4, you follow up and invite them to a webinar and ask them they checked out the video. And so you'll always get about 3 people out of those that just happen to watch it. Not everyone's going to watch it, obviously, within a day. It's just life. But some will. And you invite them to a webinar. Well, they say, yeah, okay, can you come to the Thursday one? Yeah, sure. What time? You give them the webinar link and say, okay, while you're waiting, I'm going to send you some material so you can review between now and the webinar. You send them a Forbes article. We have several of those showing businesses actually using it and making money. And we have demo videos that show how it works. So in case you couldn't see them person to person, it was done through video and through email. You couldn't show them a demo, a live demo. You can send them one. So there you go. It's extremely simple, 5 steps. We rinse and repeat, and we just roll through this. Now, obviously, people are going to come on here and just have people they're going to go see, and they'll go see them right away, maybe even before a video. That's fine. I'm suggesting to you that you must be aware that regardless of how you like to build it, you need a system in the background in case the people you bring on don't like to build it the way you do. This is critical. In this business, it is all about duplication. If only you can do a thing, you're in trouble. It has to be something everyone can do. And this, on this page, everyone can do. There's no one who could say they couldn't do this. You'd need no sales skills. You need no skills, literally 0, sending an email. So it takes the human element of fear, it takes it completely out of it. That's why it's here. Not to say you only have to use this, but I will tell you, those who do tend to have the fastest growth because it happens quicker. They don't go through this learning curve that's just unnecessary because it's not that complicated. And they start building and they see the duplication happen. Then the new people who are coming in are duplicating this while they're learning. And there's the thing. You're going to learn as you grow. That's the way I like to say it. Not learn as you go. You learn as you grow. You're growing your business and then you learn. The problem with our education system, they program people into thinking you have to learn everything first before you start. That's why there's so many people that fail, because they won't start fast enough. They don't take action. They think too much. Now, there's nothing wrong with thought. I'm a very cerebral man, but I also understand that there's a time where you go, it's time to pull the trigger. And it's time to go, and how can we build it fast? Because it's a business and it's about making money, not being a genius at understanding information that doesn't generate any income. Hence this simple system. So I just want to wrap up by saying our group, we're very, I would believe we're very tight. We're very close. I'm very supportive of anyone who wants to reach out to me. I can't reach out to everyone because it's a pretty large group, but anyone who does reach out to me, I'm happy to work directly with them. I don't care where they are in the group. If you want to work, I'm happy to support you. Now, in terms of all the resources you need, the training, we have guides, we have tutorial videos, everything to get set up, everything to train you, questions, things that you're unsure of, how to do this, all of it's available on the resource site. and our Facebook group. We support each other in those kind of things along the way. So it's a great environment for you to feel included and have a support staff. And then just finally, one last thing, because the company's so new, we have direct access to them. I haven't had that experience before in this kind of environment where you have the leaders of the company, the CEOs, the people running it, the top players in the business constantly doing promotional calls. Very in your face, very transparent. If there's an issue, they open it up and they say, here's what we're experiencing, here's where we're at with it, just like a good company should. Nothing's perfect. This is life, it's business. All business people understand that. There's no rosy, perfect path. And this is a launch. This business is in a soft launch phase. It hasn't even officially launched yet. So you have to be somewhat of a pioneer. I am. So it doesn't scare me. I am a pioneer. There's pioneers and settlers in life. Pioneers get the land. Pioneers set the rules. The settlers, well, they settle. They just get to settle for whatever's left. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you're into. But pioneers have to be able to take a couple arrows. You have to take some things, and that's part of business. I don't fear that, though, because when you get ahead of something like this, with this timing, with this product in this big of a market, with the top end, no real glass ceiling, there's going to be a lot of people making a lot of money in this business. And for those who see it, that really want to follow a simple system and leverage it. So I wanted to repeat that thing about the company's presence in our business is high. They do constant training calls, leadership calls, promotional calls, update calls, really, really consistent, like 6 days a week. If you wanted to tune into something and learn, it's available. That, and plus I do 2 webinars a week. So I'm just going to finish with that comment. I will do another one on Thursday at the exact same time, 6 Pacific, and it's 9 Eastern. But I usually use that time frame because most people are used to it. So let me just see. I was just looking at those chats. Sorry. I really enjoy doing these, by the way. I enjoy doing them. I like sharing them with people, and I love the building process. So if you ever need to reach out, you need some help or anything to do with help growing this business fast, do not be afraid to get with the person who invited you or get to me, and we can do 3-way calls and support you in the process of helping you build this properly and quick. So use these webinars, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I always do them same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. So thank you very much for your time, everyone who stayed, and I appreciate your attention and look forward to whomever you bring on Thursday. I will look forward to helping anyone in any way they want to help build this business. So thanks for your time, and we will see you soon.